watching News Always On. I'm Kessyl. Former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak was charged in an investigation linked to a state fund he founded, known as 1MDB, after billions of dollars went missing. The daughter of the former Prime Minister, Noriana Najib, said that her personal account was frozen after she posted a bill of about $250,000 for her father. In a post on a close Facebook post group called the Malaysians for Civil Liberty, she said that the bank informed her that they had instructions to freeze her personal account. A local media reported that her 10-month-old son's bank account, which had about $25, was also frozen. Noriana said in the post, quote, "Immediately after I posted bill from my dad yesterday with funds collected from friends and relatives, my bank said that they had instructions to freeze my own personal account, which I also used to pay for my own school fees. Is the government so vindictive that they want to eliminate our entire family? What does my baby's saving have to do with 1MDB? Is this the new Malaysia people were praying for?" Najib pleaded not guilty to all 4 charges. Here is more. Najib's arrest comes nearly 2 months after his coalition's shocking defeat in the May 9 general election. Last week, police said they had seized $225 million in luxury handbags, jewelry, cash, and goods from 6 properties linked to the former leader. The goods were seized as part of the investigation into the sprawling scandal related to 1MDB, which is a state investment vehicle from which Najib was accused of siphoning off billions of dollars. A spokesman for Najib described the arrest as, quote, "politically motivated and the result of political vengeance by the Malaysian leadership under Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad." The spokesman also said in a statement that Najib will contest these charges and clear his name in court. In a video posted to Twitter Tuesday evening, the former leader dismissed the accusations as, quote, "rumors, hearsay, and slander," and denied any wrongdoing. He apologized to the Malaysian people, saying, "I have tried my best, but I realized that it is not enough, yet I am not perfect. I'm just a normal person, but believe me, all these accusations made against me and my family are not true." Najib's daughter, Yana Najib, defended her father in an Instagram post Tuesday that says, quote, "No one is as kind, loving, and gentle as this man," with the hashtag Free Najib. Najib, whose government was plagued by scandal, was soundly defeated in parliamentary elections in May. Veteran politician Mahathir Mohamad came out of retirement to lead a coalition that challenged and defeated the incredibly unpopular Najib. According to an investigation by the U.S. Justice Department, Malaysian financier Jolo used misappropriated funds from 1MDB to buy 27 different 18-karat gold necklaces and bracelets for the wife of someone listed in the complaint as Malaysia Official 1. According to CNN, the U.S. is currently seeking to recover around $540 million misappropriated from the 1MDB fund, with more than $1.7 billion of assets subject to forfeiture under the Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative. Some of those assets include profits from the Martin Scorsese film The Wolf of Wall Street, which was financed by a company associated with 1MDB, as well as properties linked to Low and others. Mahathir, who succeeded Najib as Prime Minister in May, has promised to hold his former protege accountable. After the arrest, about 50 Najib supporters gathered outside the MACC headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. President Nicolas Maduro has urged his armed forces to be on guard following news reports in the United States that a year ago, U.S. President Donald Trump raised the possibility of invading Venezuela. He accused Donald Trump of having a criminal supremacist vision, saying, quote, "You have to see the criminal supremacist vision of those who govern the United States to re-vindicate the massacre in Grenada and Panama that still hurts like an open wound in the spiritual body of Latin America and the Caribbean." Reports stated that as a meeting last August in the Oval Office to discuss sanctions on Venezuela was concluding, Trump turned to his top aides and asked an unsettling question. With a fast unraveling Venezuela, threatening regional security. Why can't the United States just simply invade the troubled country? The suggestion stunned those present at the meeting, including U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, both of whom have since left the administration. According to the official, in an exchange that lasted around 5 minutes, McMaster and others took turns explaining to Trump how military action could backfire and risk losing hard-won support among Latin American governments to punish Maduro for taking Venezuela down the path of dictatorship. But Trump pushed back. Although he gave no indication he was about to order up military plans, he pointed to what he considered past cases of successful gunboat diplomacy in the region, like the invasions of Panama and Grenada in the 1980s. The next day, on August 11th, Trump alarmed friends and foes alike with talk of a military option to remove Maduro from power. Within days of the president's talk of a military option, Maduro filled the streets of Caracas with loyalists to condemn Trump's belligerence, ordered up nationwide military exercises, and threatened with arrest opponents he said were plotting his overthrow with the U.S. A second case of nerve agent poisoning in England has caused public concern as UK police investigates after a couple in their 40s were exposed to the nerve agent Novichok. That happened in a town near to where a former Russian spy and his daughter were poisoned about 4 months ago. Chemical experts say Novichok is in a class of substances deadlier than similar chemicals like sarin or Reax. Let us take a look at this video. British Home Secretary Sajid Javid said scientists at the Britain's Defence Research Lab are investigating the incident, but the risk to the British public remains low. Here is more.
With permission, Mr. Speaker, I would like to make a statement regarding the events that have been unfolding in Amesbury and Salisbury. This morning, I chaired a meeting of the Government's Emergency Committee COBRA covering the ongoing investigation in Amesbury. I've been separately briefed by the security services and by counter-terrorism police. As many of you will now know, a 45-year-old man and a 45-year-old woman were found to be unwell at a property in Muggleton Road in Amesbury on Saturday. Both are British citizens. Paramedics attended the scene and admitted the pair to the A&E department at Salisbury District Hospital. Here they were treated for exposure to an unknown substance. Further testing by expert scientists in chemical warfare at Porton Down Laboratory confirmed this to be the nerve agent of the type known as Novichok. This has now been identified as the same nerve agent that contaminated both Yulia and Sergei Skripal. The pair are currently in critical condition, and I'm sure the whole House will join me in wishing them a full and swift recovery. Yeah. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to the emergency services and the staff at Salisbury District Hospital for their tireless professionalism and the dedicated way in which they are providing it. I understand, of course, that there will be some concerns about what this means for public safety. In particular, I recognise that some local Wiltshire residents will be feeling very anxious. Let me reassure you that public safety is of paramount importance. Public Health England's latest assessment is that, based on the number of casualties affected, there is no significant risk to the wider public. Their advice is informed by scientists and the police as the facts evolve. Dame Sally Davis, the Chief Medical Officer, has confirmed that the risk to the public remains low. Our strong working assumption is that the couple came into contact with the nerve agent in a different location to the sites which have been part of the original cleanup operation. The police have also set up 2 dedicated phone numbers for anyone with concerns relating to this incident. Be assured that we have world-leading scientists, intelligence officers and police on this case. Local residents can expect to see an increased police presence in and around Amesbury and Salisbury. All 6 sites that were visited by the pair before they collapsed have been cordoned off and are being securely guarded as a precaution. An investigation has started to work out how these 2 individuals came into contact with the nerve agent. Around 100 detectives from the counter-terrorism policing network are working to support this investigation alongside colleagues from Wiltshire Police. The police's work will take time, but we are ready to respond as and when new evidence comes to light and the situation becomes clearer. Following the events in Salisbury earlier this year, we rapidly worked with international partners at the Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons to confirm our identification of the nerve agent that was used. Through a process of extensive, impartial testing and analysis, our findings were confirmed correct beyond doubt. The use of chemical weapons anywhere is barbaric and inhumane. The decision taken by the Russian government to deploy these in Salisbury on March the 4th was reckless and callous. There is no plausible alternative explanation to the events in March other than the Russian state was responsible. And we acted accordingly. The British government and the international community immediately and robustly condemned this inhuman action. In light of this attack, the UK expelled 23 Russian diplomats from our shores, and we were joined by 28 of our closest allies in this action, from the United States to Ukraine, who expelled over 150 of the Russian state's diplomats. We have already seen multiple explanations from state-sponsored Russian media regarding this latest incident. We can anticipate further disinformation from the Kremlin, as we saw following the Salisbury attack. And as we did before, we will be consulting with our international partners and allies following these latest developments.
As always, I always like to end the newscast slightly. So here's a fun fact. The United States is not the only country that celebrates 4th of July. Other countries like Denmark, Norway, and Portugal also celebrate this day as a way to bring in American tourists. Looks like that's all the time we have for now. I'm Kessyl, and this is News Always On. I will see you later.